And good evening, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Holotheatre. As always, I am Dan Tartaglione, also known as D Tartag1. So today, we had a lot of stuff going on in the Star Wars CCG world. We don't have a guest this week. However, next week, I can promise you we're going to have an exciting guest. I believe he's been on before. I could be wrong. Actually, no, I know he's been on before. We're going to have Drew Lichtenstein on next week. So make sure you tune in next week for that one. Tonight, however, again, after everything that went on for this past week, it has been a busy, busy week. So everybody's calming down, getting back to normal and everything. So figured tonight's just a good night to go over what happened and talk about the future. So really quick, the MPC was this past weekend. For those who don't know, Drew Lichtenstein again took home the victory. It was an exciting MPC. Had a lot of people participate in it, whether or not they were playing. A lot of interesting things happened. It started out as a Swiss tournament, and it did end with a top 8. The top 8 included Eric Hunter, Justin Miyashiro, Matt Sokol, Mike Danboys, Drew Lichtenstein, Greg Shaw, Mike Kessling, and Charlie Arlinson. Now, I will clarify that for 1 second. Justin Desai was one of the members who made it into the top 8. Unfortunately, he had to drop to go home and take care of some family business. Greg Shaw was more than willing to take over for his position in the top 8, and he actually had to play Drew in the first round. So both teammates had to play. And then, of course, Mike versus Charlie played. And again, teammates. Eric Hunter was he was undefeated, I believe, in the main in day 1. He finished out as the number 1 overall seed. No, I say correct. I'm sorry. He was 7-1. So. And then, like I said, from Drew was the number 2 seed, Mike was the number 3, Matt Sokol, Charlie Arlinson, Justin Desai, Justin Miyashiro, and Mike Danboys rounded out the top 8. So, again, really awesome event. I could not speak more to what the PC did for it, especially in all that's going on in the world and everything. So, again, really nice job. We did have a nice consolation event. I believe Ed Chien won that with Vikram Bali coming in second. And then there was a very hyped about sealed event that included some OTST boxes, some enhanced boxes. I don't know if they were Premier or Dallas Palace or Cloud City, but they were there. So I know that it was a really fun event by everybody. I know Casey did a lot as the TD. He also was streaming on the PC Facebook channel. So if you didn't see that, go ahead and make sure you check out that. He was walking around talking about the sealed event that happened on Sunday. So, but yeah, all in all, the PC was a great event. So, and yeah. So, up next, we talked earlier today. Was it the match of the year at least? I had the pleasure of doing the stream for the Outrider Cup tiebreaker. It involved after Team USA came back and tied it up on the very last match. Joe Olson beat Justin Branch to tie it all up and everything. And then the captain sat down, they conferred with their team, decided that they would be the ones to go in and play the last match. It was a winner-take-all match. Joe Olson versus Bastion Winklehouse. I will say that the stream is uploaded on YouTube, so if you want to go ahead and check that out, please do. It was a great game. Bastion played QMC for Light Side and ISB for Dark Side. Joe played CCT, or Carbon Chamber Testing, for Dark Side, and let the Wookiee win Shmi Hut, the Shmi's Huts, and with the new Your Thoughts Dwell on Your Mother card. So it was a really good match and everything. So I'm not going to give any spoilers, and so for who didn't watch, but let me just put it this way. My prognostication skills continue to excel, and Bill Kafer, and I were 100% correct on our predictions earlier in the year. So, congrats to those who won. Make sure you check out those streams if you want to go ahead. I believe that the deck lists have been posted. James actually tweeted out that the deck lists have been posted via Slack and everything and Twitter. So make sure you go ahead, if you want to check out some of the 12 best decks that you might want to play, go ahead and make sure you check those out at your convenience. I believe that, yes, they are all on the website. You can actually download them all as a zip file. So again, if you want to, and then I believe that they are GEMP formatted. So if you want to play them, they're already formatted correctly for you. I know I'm going to be looking out to try some of those decks myself here in the coming months. Next up, we have Batmouse's MPC. We are currently in the 6th MPC. 110 players have entered, and right now, take a look at the bracket, we are into the 3rd round already. Looking at some of the matches, Joe Olsen, no surprise there. He's made it into the 3rd round. There have been a couple upsets throughout the way. Some of the major ones: Matt Scott, London Sean beat Matt Scott. Matt, if you remember, was runner-up at Worlds this past year. Scotland Grail lost to Adam CFC, and Adam CFC will have to face down Joe Olsen here in the next round. Kyle Kalin upset Jared Napolitano. I would say that's a huge upset myself. Jared, one of the players in the Outrider Cup, he's had a stellar year so far this year. Actually, in the last 2 years, he was runner-up in the MPC last year, and he made the top 4 at Worlds as well. I'm not going to say who he lost to in both of those, but I think everybody knows at this point. Mike Kessling advanced. Brandon Beatty upset Brian Fred to advance. Connor Britton beat down the host of the event himself, Batmouse. Daniel Amore with a huge upset over Justin Desai. I watched the game a little bit last night. It was a CCT versus Legend build, and it was a really exciting game. Maybe we'll get Daniel or Justin to send us over a replay link, and we'll actually do a replay of it. Schmicky beat Adam Toronzo, and then we'll face. He beat down Steve Brenson as well. Drew Lichtenstein, our MPC winner, advanced. He will face Jeffrey Levine, who is in the top 4 of the Jawa Cup, but we'll talk about that in a second. Jeff beat down Matt Lutz. Charlie Arlinson advances over, and then BRB 1097, who beat top 8 finalists from Worlds, Robbie Hendon, and then Matt Sperling to advance to face Charlie. We do have our first round 4 player to advance. Timo Dussel, who is a 3 seed, advanced over Dralik and Jason Rendu to get to the round 4. MHT and Justin Miyashiro will face off. MHT, our OCS winner from last year, he'll face Justin Miyashiro, who's coming off his first top 8 at the MPC this past weekend. World champion Tom Hay beat Sam Tashimi, and he will face Lawrence Kraft. Lawrence beat Brad Kipple, who was a top 16 player from the OCS last year. Babadook beat down Steve Baroni to advance to the round 3. He will wait and play a game against either Chris Kelly or Taco Bell. They are the last people in round 2 who haven't played yet, so we'll see what happens there. Greg Shaw advances. He will face Rebel CPA. Rebel CPA, who emerged victorious over Jared Konsker. No real surprises here, but Bastion advances over Cal Aldred. He'll face teammate in the Outrider Cup, Miguel. CE beat Gavin Osterlund, while CryptoFist advances as well. And then down here at the bottom, Justin Branch advances. He'll face off against Tom Kelly. Tom coming off his win against Mike Turner. Paul Myers, who beat the MPC consolation winner Ed Sheehan. Paul Myers will face off against Wayne Cullen, who beat Tom Damon. So still a lot of action going on in the Gem PC. So I know we're going to try and stream some of those games as we can, being that the Outrider Cup is finished and we're rounding the corner with the Jawa Cup as well. Speaking of the Jawa Cup, we are in the top 4 right now. Our top 4 is Kevin Yop and Jeff Levine, as I said earlier. Ryan Jelson was able to outlast Jason Rendu to advance to the finals. He again waits the winner of Kevin Yop versus Jeff. Right now, Kevin is up on game 1 by 11, I believe. I should know that. I streamed it the other night. So once we have the winner of that game, we'll let you guys know. And then once we know when they're playing, we'll let you guys know, so that way you can join the streams if you and we get that game streamed and everything. Also coming up, it is January 26th, so in less than a week right now, the 2020 OCS will commence. Again, this is a 6-month tournament where 2 players each month will advance to the round of 16. We'll also have 4 wild cards essentially come in and join as well. Again, if you are interested in the OCS, go ahead and sign up. It's $50. It's $10 per month, $50 for the entire season, so you get 1 month free essentially. It will last from February, March, and May, June, August, and September. And you could ask him why is there split in there? Well, first of all, in April, we're going to be having the Indoor Grand Prix. So we're going to be returning to Seattle this year. I know it's a new hotel and everything, but it's going to be an exciting match. I know the Seattle guys put on a great event up there, so make sure you try and go to that. And then in July, Nationals will return to Minnesota. So I know all those guys up in Minnesota, Matt Lutz, Mark Walseth, all them, they put on a great tournament as well, so make sure you support them. But again, the OCS is starting in February. Right now, there is roughly 44 people. Again, this is last updated. I don't know when Chris updated it recently, but right now we have 44 people signed up for it. We have, let's see, Timo Dussel signed up, Joe Olson, Mike Kessling, Scott Lingrell, Matt Lutz, Justin Miyashiro, Matt Harrison Trainer signed up, Brian Fred, Bastian signed up. So a lot of top name players are signed up for this event. It's a great event if you want to go on and play some competitive level Star Wars online. And now that we have set 17 going and everything, you can test out some of those nice set 17 decks and everything. And we'll hopefully we'll see some new people into the top 16 this year. One of the other things going on, if you are on Facebook, we are still doing the best virtual card image poll. So if you are on the PC's Facebook page, I post these almost every day. There are some instances where I will miss it, but if you scroll down a little bit, past all the fun stuff, I know when I say scroll down a little bit, I mean by scrolling down just as long as you can. So it will come up to something like this. You'll see the 2 questions, like Ahsoka Tano versus the Jakku Starship Graveyard. So if you like the image of Ahsoka Tano, you can vote for her, for that card. If you like the Starship Graveyard, make sure you vote for that. The bracket is still going. The biggest upset so far on this is Mithron Renudo beat Kira. So Kira was upset by Thrawn. The finalizer beat Shizor's Bounty. And then Evil is Everywhere beat Anakin Skywalker Jedi Knight. That was a little bit of a surprise for me. So right now we are on the Falcon, Junkyard Garbage, and Rogue One. And then Ahsoka Tano and Jakku Starship Graveyard. Yeah, Rock was upset. Ryan Searson promised something if Rock would win, but unfortunately Rocket did not win. Vader's Castle won. And I actually had it set so that the Starship Graveyard, or not the Starship, the Falcon versus Rogue One would end at 4 p.m. or 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific. and I will be closing that one. So yeah, the Falcon advances over Rogue One. So our next one is again going to be Starkiller Base versus Maz Kanata. So if you want to participate, please go ahead on Facebook and vote for those. I will try and get those out again, like I said, every day. I didn't update this weekend just because, again, with the MPC and everything, I want to give everybody some chance to vote on everything. But that is still going on. We got a couple more rounds, and then once we start round two, yeah, it's exciting. But okay, so at this point, I think that's what all I have for everybody tonight. Again, like I said, so next week I am promising that Drew Lichtenstein will be on. He and Mike Kessling will come on to discuss all the MPC, all the stuff from the MPC, talk about what decks they played, why they played them. Again, both of them made the top 8, so that's going to be a really good show. Mike is one of the nicest guys in Star Wars. Drew probably does. He's one of those guys who puts in so much work. So again, Drew, that was only his second major ever, and he ended up winning. So it's going to be an exciting weekend. And then in 2 weeks, we're going to get all of the winning team from the Outrider Cup. Again, I'm not going to spoil who it is. If you want to find out, I know there's ways, but I'm not going to say it. But we'll have the winning team on in 2 weeks. And then, yeah, we'll have some stuff about the OCS. We'll have some stuff about the Jawa Cup. And, yeah, we got a lot going on in Star Wars CCG right now. So make sure you stay tuned to Slack, the forums, Facebook, Twitter, all that. Again, I want to thank everybody who is handling all that. James is doing a great job. Jared's doing a great job. Everybody who runs the Facebook page, again, doing a great job. So thanks for everybody for tuning in tonight. I know it's not really as in-depth as what we have been doing, but we'll have more for you next week. I can promise you that. So until then, as always, may the Force be with you, and I'll see you guys next week. Take care and have a good weekend.